Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet.
This review covers the Galaxie Limited Kit number 99061-G-38. It's a 38-foot triaxle fifth wheel trailer, and it's in 1/24th, 1/25 scale. It's right about in between. Now these kits are still available online or directly from Galaxie Limited's website. This one is made of 74 pieces, and I would say that it's for an intermediate level builder. They're molded in white styrene, black vinyl tires, and has some cardboard stock and water slide decals. When you're done, it's going to be about 19.5 inches long, 4 inches wide, and about 4.5 inches high. But with the awning installed to the side, it's 8 1/8 inches wide. In the real world, trailers like these can be very useful as car carriers or for transporting vendor displays, including the racks and tables that they would use, along with the awning where they can set up their display area. But they can be towed depending on their loads with either semi-cabs or even pickup trucks that are geared for heavy hauling. Here are the contents of the kit. And we'll be using regular tube styrene glue or sometimes liquid cement, occasionally some super glue for strength for the most part on this kit. But please remember to use the manufacturer safety and use guidelines when using any of the products that you see or hear mentioned in the review. Here are the decals for the kit, and they're very colorful. The register is good, and we'll be augmenting these with some of the ATL decals that came out of the recent re-release by AMT of the Astro 95 kit. You see the cab there along with a pickup truck, and they've all been fitted with the same ATL decals for a display. So we'll be using some setting solutions on those to get those to stick and conform to the contours. Construction begins with the wheel assemblies. The 6 outer wheel halves and inner wheel halves are painted silver. The inner wheel half then is installed into a vinyl tire, and then the outer wheel half is added to the tire and glued to the inner wheel. You repeat that for the other 5 assemblies. The outer wheel halves, including what looks like a wheel cover, seem to have a little bit of a pressure mark from the inside, but once you paint that, you won't notice it. Paint the 3 axles with some gloss black, and then assemble them into the inner wheel halves. Now we have the interior side of the right side wall, and we'll also show you the interior side of the curbside door. They'll be including the hinge covers and the lower hinge brackets and upper hinge brackets. Spray those with primer white, and then the outsides of mine of the right side wall and the curbside door wall I painted gloss red. Now the lower hinge bracket is placed on the hinge of the curbside door without glue, and upper hinge bracket is glued to the lower hinge bracket, then locking the lower bracket and upper into the hinge of the curbside door. So don't get glue on the hinges to keep them operational. You repeat that process for the second hinge, and then the curbside door is installed into the right sidewall. Now the hinge covers are attached to the inside right of the right sidewall, locking the hinge bracket assemblies into place. Once again, avoid getting glue on the hinge brackets. Locate the hoist, both the hoist roof rails and the hoist bar, and spray those with some gloss white. The hoist hooks then are painted silver, and the hoist roof racks are installed onto the hoist without glue. Thread is used to secure the hoist bar to the hoist, and also some thread used to secure the 2 hoist hooks onto the hoist bar. Tailgate is sprayed with Tester's red gloss, and then both the hinge caps and the interior side of the tailgate and ramp are painted aluminum. Now the ramp is placed on the tailgate, and the hinge caps are attached to the tailgate, locking the ramp into place. The interior of the front bulkhead shown here is painted with primer white on the inside, and on the outside it's painted with gloss red. Both support legs are painted aluminum and detailed with some black. The support legs then are slid into the front bulkhead there. The main floor here gets sprayed with some white primer, and the spare tire box is detailed with some flat black. Now the plastic spare tire is painted tester's flat black, and the outer wheel half is painted silver. Then the spare tire access door gets painted primer white and detailed with some aluminum. The outer wheel half then is installed into the plastic spare tire, and the tire assembly then is installed into the main floor. Now the spare tire access door can be installed onto the main floor without glue. Notice that the spare tire seemed to be a little thick for enclosure into the cover, so I removed some of the excess, and then it will go into position and the door will close flush. Spray the generator compartment flat white primer and let that dry and attach it to the main floor. Paint the underside of the main floor with some flat black, and then you can attach the axle assemblies to that. Install the front bulkhead assembly to the main floor. Paint the top of the floor extension interior white with the primer white, and then the exterior and bottom is painted flat black. The floor extension then can be attached to the front bulkhead assembly. Align the right side and go ahead and attach that to the main floor. I would use a little super glue a little at a time along the way to ensure a good tight fit. Again, the left interior was sprayed with some primer white, and then the exterior is painted gloss red. Now the generator access door is detailed the same way. The generator access door can be installed into the left side without glue, and then the left side assembly can be attached to the main floor just like the right side. But before the glue is dry, the tailgate assembly can be installed between the left and the right sides without glue. I used some blue tape there to keep the tailgate up and make sure that everything was in alignment with each other. Grab the front panel. The interior is painted with the primer white and the exterior with the gloss red. And when it's dry, you can attach that to the floor extension. You can see here that there's a copyright logo on the bottom of the roof, and you can remove that with a sand stick or a scraper. Now the light panel will get installed onto the roof, and the roof assembly interior is painted with the primer white and the exterior with gloss white. Now the hoist assembly can be attached to the roof assembly. The model starts coming together, and we can install the roof onto the trailer. A little blue masking tape after you get some glue applied to the edges will keep everything in alignment until she dries. Now there's a couple of fifth wheel items that need to be addressed, and the a hitch pin that gets attached to the fifth wheel base, and then there's the fifth wheel base assembly gets painted flat black. The completed base assembly is attached to the trailer, and then the fifth wheel is attached to the second fifth wheel base, and then the second fifth wheel base assembly gets it painted flat black as well. Now the second fifth wheel assembly goes in the back of a pickup truck and might need to be trimmed a little bit to fit. It seemed like it was a little oversized. Optional pieces here that can be used for ramps if you were to drive vehicles up into the floor extension there. And you can use these pieces for either ramps or shelves, or even to make racks or engine stands, etc. You can work on the awning, which is a sub-assembly, and it can be put together, but it's not really discussed in the instructions. The directions for the awning are on the cardboard for itself, so the plastic parts for the awning can then be assembled and painted gloss white, and the cardboard gets cut and glued into shape, and just use some white glue for that, and assemble the awning. Now shown here in the Associated Truck Lines motif, you see the entire trailer sitting there with a pickup truck that's also been decorated the same, and once again, it's very versatile. It can also be placed on a semi-truck cab like this one for a heavy load, but it's a very versatile kit. Now, please keep in mind that you won't get either the pickup truck or the semi-cab as part of this kit. You just get the trailer, but it's a great addition to any display, and it comes in really handy if you were actually trying to make a diorama of something of that nature. Now, it was a kind of a fun build. It's not the normal semi-trailer or car that you would put together, but it's a great fitting kit. Their quality is very good, and there was only one thing that I saw was the wheel there that looked like it was push mark, but once you painted it, you couldn't see it. All the mold lines are very good. There wasn't any flash or sink. It was produced very well, and the decals were easy to use and apply. But as I said, the ATL decals were separate. They came out of a different kit, so don't expect to find those here. And you can augment with anything out of your parts box, so give it a try. If I were you, I'd buy one and put it on my shelf. We hope you like this premium scale model kit review, and so that you don't miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. But you can do that in the corner of any of our reviews by clicking on the ROR logo. You can also find us on Facebook and at our website, rightonreplicas.com. Thanks!